and we're walking. I brag that I'm running, but I don't run. I'm down out. This is the city of Washington is locked up. Let me show you around here. This is called Washington Circle. I used to always live down. This is like Foggy Bottom. Foggy Bottom is where the State Department is, and it's sort of like on your way. On this side, if you this circle, if you go east, you go to the White House. If you go west, you go to what's called Georgetown, which is sort of like a yuppie Greenwich Village. Now there's so many other cities around, so many areas around here that are like that. But this is about, you know, the White House is on 16th Street. This is like 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 24th Street maybe. And the trucks and the military start about 22nd Street. So if I go towards the White House in 2 blocks, I have to go by all these people with guns and all this kind of stuff and big trucks blocking everything. I could walk there, but I can't. You can't drive there, and that's going to be blocked up for, you know, I think maybe a couple days after the election, a week after. You may know more than me. I just live here, or try to live here, with all this stuff going around. But it's nice. I mean, see, what's nice about Washington, I think, is see all the big buildings. They can't be more than 13 stories high. You know, so you don't have, like, New York City is cool, but man, you feel like you're in a canyon. Yeah, no canyons here. Maybe cannons. And I don't know who the guy up is. See the guy on the horse? Maybe that's a Confederate soldier. I don't know. Actually, a lot of these people are from other countries, and maybe they helped with the wars. I'm not a historian, so don't trust me. But what I want to talk about is this. Okay, what you ought to do is take a look. See this headline? See if you can find this. You go to Google. It says PPP is back. What's different this time? Okay, now this is the government program, and that was last time, and gave it to small businesses and stuff. And what's the most interesting thing about this article is good because it takes step by step what's good about this PPP versus last. And they just open it up, or in the next couple of days. Every time you read something, you get different information. It doesn't matter. And so that's why, don't trust me, don't trust anybody. I mean, at least in the paper, they write things. So many people on the internet are there to sell other things. You know, I mean, they're consultants or whatever. So they're trying to get views if you want to know about PPP, and then they'll sell you stocks or something. I don't know. So that's why you want to look for something that people actually do research just on the information and are not doing it to sell you something else. And that's important. And that's why you should look at this. But the most important thing about this, listen to this. Okay. It says, how long will the money run out? Okay, now they got a couple $100 billion they're going to give, $284 billion, okay? So the new PPP is 284. The last one was 500. So it's, more than half. But then it says, when the program started in April, that's when the last PPP started in April, the money ran out in 13 days, okay? You hear that? So that's why they're starting a new one now. So you got to look, is that money going to be here or not? Okay, here's what happened though. Infuriating applicants who were shut out. Okay, Congress quickly allocated more, which proved sufficient. Now here's the killer. Here's the killer. Okay, is when the program ended in August, more than 120 billion was unspent. So there's 120 billion there that nobody applied for. Okay, there was 120 billion small businesses. Somebody said, do you have to be in business? No, you can't start a business with this, but you could have been a government contractor, or you could have been a contractor, a freelancer, and things like that. So the Treasury Department officials believe the 284 billion will be enough to fund all qualified applicants. But don't trust anything somebody says. You go and apply. Don't trust anything that someone like me even tells you whether you're eligible or not. You just go and apply. And oh, look at that, $4.99. Thank you so much, ma'am. Oh, that's a hug. Why aren't you here to hug me? That's second choice. Thank you so much. And so, but see, for the PPP, you have to find a qualified bank to work with. Now, a lot of it is that, okay, it says, what can you use more? How do I find a lender? Okay, that's right. This has a nice thing, question and answer. How do I find a lender? The place to start will be the bank you used already. So if you, oh, Megan, thank you, sweet. PUA and disability. Yes, try. Just try, apply. Don't trust what I say or anybody else on the internet says. No, the people who know the real answer are the people giving out the money. Screw everybody else. Don't believe all this other crap that's out there. Like me. I don't know. I'm guessing. Okay. How do you find a letter? So if you applied last time, you go to the same people. Last year, many national banks took applications only from borrowers they had worked with before, and that may be true again to do. But most borrowers seeking a second loan will be able to apply through the lender that issued the first. Okay, thousands of community banks and specialist lenders are also participating. So even non-banks you could apply for. So you have to go through a bank or somebody like that, a financial institution. The Small Business Administration runs a lender match program to connect applicants with willing lenders. Okay, we'll go to the SBA.gov and look for PPP and they have a matchup. Now, I used to give up, I told you about the community development financial institutions. You could also do this. What the people who can apply first, and okay, here's another one. Let me read this. When can I apply? As they were last year, the loans are issued by banks and other lenders, but some lenders got a head start. So that means you do not apply to the Small Business Administration. You have to apply for the lender. So that's why, that's who you find out if you're eligible for. You call these lenders. They're going to say whether you are or not. So that's the way you find out. Okay, most borrowers can apply starting January 19th. Is it that yet? I don't think so. What are expected to be thousands of participating lenders. So they're going to have lots of people, thousands of participating people, people like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and PayPal. You could apply through PayPal and Square. And see, but listen to this, a small group of community lenders are able to start taking applications a few days earlier. Now here's what you want to do. This is what I would do now if I were you. I would go to Google and put in community development financial institutions and put find community development financial institutions, and they'll have the association of these institutions show you how to find a bank near you. You call a dozen of them. I know Washington, there's like 50 to 100 of them. So you keep calling. They say, no, we're only taking from current clients. Okay, screw you. I go somewhere else. You know, and you just keep going down the list until you say, yeah, we're interested in working with you. Okay, tell us, you know, who you are, what's your situation, and I'll tell you whether you're a supplier or not. See, that's who you want to talk to. Not me, not some Yahoo on the internet or on YouTube. No, the banks who are going to fill out your application and get the money. See, they get money by helping you get the money. They don't get it from you, they get it from the Small Business Administration. And these banks made billions and billions of dollars last time on it. And look at 125 billion was not even applied for. You hear that? 125 billion was not even applied for. Okay, here's some application. Applications must have been in operation on February 15, 2020. So you must have been, you could have been a freelancer back then or whatever. Self-employed businesses, self-employed. This is not, you don't have to be an LLC or an INC or any of that kind of stuff. Self-employed. I'm self-employed. I don't have a corporation or anything. I just get money and put it on my personal taxes and pay taxes on it. That's self-employed. And independent contractors are also eligible for these loans, okay? But a rule imposed by the Small Business Administration requires sole proprietorships to have shown a profit in 2019 tax returns. So if you're organization did not show, if your work that you were doing, did not show a profit, then I guess you're not eligible. But try anyway. What the heck? There may be a way. See, the whole thing is not believing what somebody says. The opportunities are in investigating, finding somebody who thinks a little broader and finds an angle that you could do it. If you did any work at all for money, then you qualify. Hope you get in. I'm going to try. Good. I don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure. Either way, if I say yes, may be wrong. If I say no, may be wrong. That's why you go and find somebody who accepts applications. And if somebody says no, you get a couple other people to make sure. But if you don't have a business, can you get but if you don't, PUA has nothing to do with business. You can have a business, get PUA, we have not business. But I'm guessing too, because every state is different. You have to go to your state and find out, and take a guess and apply. Even if you say, well, maybe I don't apply. I'm not eligible. Apply anyway. What else? You're going to take a half hour, whatever it takes to apply. The PPL takes a little longer. Even if you work 40 hours a week, yeah. But if you have a side business, then that's it. Try it. Like I said, don't trust me. Go find people who know this stuff. There's a whole list there, of people who are going to fill out applications. That's who you want to do. And then when you call one and they say no, you call a bunch of others and see what they say. That's where opportunities in life are. It's not believing what everybody else says, and get for sure, and not just one person says yes, that's him, that's her, whatever. We're wrong most of the times. Man, what's really cool is that like the scientific journals, that say, we did this scientific study and it's approved by the government to do it, and yada, 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 and everybody dies who eats squirrels, or whatever the heck it is they say, and that's a headline. Well, all those studies that are in scientific journals, 2/3 of them turn out to be wrong. So the best scientific evidence, 2/3 turn out to be wrong. This is the kind of society we live in. That's why everybody can pretend they're right. But you got to know if it works for you. And that's why you find organizations, okay, if you're calling up 5 banks and they say, hey, no, this is crazy, okay, then you look for something else. Start digging somewhere else. But just don't take one answer and think that's everything, okay? And that's the important. How much will you get? Well, actually, individuals working for themselves, I think it's up to $100,000. And then that's forgiven. But now listen to this. If they don't forgive it, and it's a loan, you only pay 1% interest. See, 1%. Do you have credit card debt? You want to get this money to pay off your credit card debt. You're paying 15, 20, 30% interest. But the EIDL too is that way. It's only 2 or 3% interest. So even if, see, the EIDL is some of it's grant and some of it's loans. So you get that loan, that's better than paying the credit card company. And that's important to do. So it's all about doing homework. It's all about, just not believing one person, investigating. The people who investigate and do the research are the ones that really find the opportunities, because you make them. If everybody's doing it, that's not an opportunity. But this, look at, they didn't even spend $120 billion was left on the table by entrepreneurs and people with small businesses or self-employed. 120 billion. Man, 120 billion. Yeah. I mean, we're only spending, like in the new CARES Act, or the new COVID Act, they're only spending 25 billion for mortgage, for rent, grants for rents. And by the way, members of Let's Go Help are writing in now, and they say how they're calling their counties, they're calling their cities. A lady just wrote me this morning, a Let's Go Help member, and she got 2.5 months grant to pay 2.5 months of rent. And the lady that she found and now in charge of that program thanked her for calling. See? Thanked her for calling. Thanked her for calling. Thanked her for calling. Can you believe that? That's what it's like. What we think is real is that maybe what But it's not all over like that. Well, and then here, that lady thanked you for calling to get rent to pay your, get a grant to pay your rent. Here's $120 billion that nobody applied for. I mean, that's astounding to me. That's why it's so much fun to do this work. Yeah. But I was, before I got into this stuff and helping rich people get this money, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, nobody could get it. Oh, it's not real. And there, to me, are just excuses because you're too lazy, like I am. And that's why you got to do something that's fun, because it's going to take work anyway. Or you really need it. So that's why, get out there, try some of this stuff, bang on some doors, be nice as hell to people, because they're sitting on money you don't know they have. Anything going on in your favorite state of Georgia? Yes, I have an ex-wife from Georgia. Love Georgia. Yes, all the programs I talk about are everywhere. These are everywhere. This is a national program. This is $120 billion. That's a national program. Anybody in Georgia or Tuscaloosa could have applied for this and gotten it. But nobody did. Why is that? Because they're not Let's Go Help members. No. But it's just misconceptions and stuff. It's hard to get people believing something that they disbelieve in. So you gotta work at it. It takes work. That's the other thing. I think that most of, we want to take the easy way out. So if it's easy, we'll try. If it's not easy, no, screw it. And to me, that leads you to nowhere. And you don't want to go anywhere. This is one life you got, man. What else are you going to do with it? I mean, do something fun. There's stuff out there, may be hard to get, but what the hell? You got something better to do? No, you probably don't. So figure out this stuff. Help other people doing it, because that'll make you figure it out too. You know, it's out there, whether you use it or not. Other people are going to use it, but actually that's not true. There's 120 billion nobody used. Why didn't they use that? You know? 120 billion, that's a lot of money. You know, that's what now the new stimulus package was 800 billion, 900 billion, okay? So that's, I mean, yeah, not 800 billion. So this was 120 billion. What's that, 15%? So that's 15% of the whole enchilada that they didn't spend. 15% of everything is sitting in the drawers. Not in your drawers, but it's going back to the Treasury. Yeah. So help these poor bureaucrats, please. They have to make quota. If you don't help them, who's going to have it? I'm going to feel like that lady who used to beg for money for kids in Africa or whatever. Yeah. So this is like help the poor bureaucrats in Washington make their quota. They got to give away money. Please help them. Send it now, and you'll get your reward in heaven. Okay. Have fun. Talk to you later.